Hey everyone, how is it going? Josh here, of course. Another episode on From Wolf to Well. I want to tell you a story today. And if you've ever had a puppy, if you've ever thought, what the hell did I get myself into? Or if you've ever Googled, is my puppy aggressive at 11:30 at night, this one is for you. This is the story of Luna. Now, before I start, Luna is not one specific puppy. She's a combination of many real puppy clients I've worked with over the years. But the problems, the stress, the emotions, those are very real. So I'm going to be talking to you about multiple different puppies and clients' issues and so on, all kind of mixed into this one dog named Luna. So who is Luna? Well, Luna is a 10-week-old puppy, sweet and cute, big eyes, and soft ears. The kind of puppy that gets comments like, "Oh my God, she's so calm. Oh wow, she's going to be such a good dog." Luna lives with a couple, first-time puppy owners. They did their research. They bought the right food. They watched YouTube videos. They followed Instagram trainers, such as myself. They were excited. And then day 3 hit. The problem. So, or at least what owners think the problem was, right? So by day 3, Luna is now biting hands, biting ankles, biting clothes, growling during play, zooming around the house like a possessed squirrel. The owners are panicked. They don't know what's going on. They start saying things like, "She's biting hard. She doesn't stop. We're scared that she's getting aggressive. We don't want a dog that bites our family, friends, or anyone for that matter." And this is important. They weren't bad owners. They weren't lazy. They were not abusive. They were confused. So here's the big misunderstanding, all right? Here's the thing most people don't understand. Biting is not a behavior problem. It's a developmental phase. Luna wasn't being dominant. She wasn't being aggressive. She wasn't trying to challenge anyone or show you that she really is the boss. She was just teething, maybe even overtired, maybe overstimulated, and completely unsure of what was expected of her, which would be normal for any new puppy coming into a new family. But the owners did what most people do. They reacted. These are the things that made it worse. Every time Luna would bite, hands pulled away fast. Voices got louder. "No, stop it." And from Luna's point of view, this was the best game ever. Fast movement, noise, emotion. I love this. This all sounds fun. They seem happy, I think. That's not correction. That's engagement. So the biting escalated, of course. So what's happening now? Well, now the owners are frustrated. And when humans get frustrated, what happens? Well, structure starts to disappear. So again, the issue was not the biting. The issue was too much freedom, no enforced rest, no clear off switch, no routine. I don't know about you, but if any of you listening have children or have taken care of anything, this should sound quite familiar. Luna was awake too long, also. That's another big possibility. She was playing too much. She was interacting constantly. There was no breaks. Puppies don't know how to self-regulate, just like in many ways children don't know how to self-regulate. They don't go, "Oh, wow, I'm overstimulated. I should probably take a nap." What do? They say they're not tired, and they say that they can do this forever. And then the moment you put them down for the nap, 3 seconds later, they're passed out, right? That's the reality. So they go feral instead of, toning it down on their own. So this is why we need to help them, all right? So we didn't start with stop biting. What I started with the clients was we started with sleep, with structure, and with predictability. Because here's a truth a lot of people don't like to hear: a tired puppy is not a happy puppy. A tired puppy is a land shark. All right? Luna needed more naps, shorter play sessions, calm transitions, clear expectations. She did not need more toys. She did not need more commands. She did not need more corrections. Once structure came in, something wild happened. My clients started sending me text messages. My goodness, it's only been a few days. The biting's decreased. It's become softer. It's a little bit more predictable. It even eventually faded. Not because Luna learned not to bite, but because her nervous system calmed down. Her brain wasn't overloaded. Her needs were actually being met. This is the part owners don't expect. The puppy didn't change first, the humans did. This is the secret. This is how you handle tough situations with your puppy. The emotional piece behind all of this is that at one point, one of the owners said something that stuck with me. I remember they said, "We thought we were failing her." And that's the part that gets me, because so many good owners feel like bad ones. And that really hurts. That really hate that. I want you to know that you are all trying and you're all doing your very best. And it's not for lack of trying. And I try to get that through to people because no one is harder on yourself than, well, yourself, right? So it's not because, they were doing nothing. It's because they were doing too much. That's the reason. That is why they feel like they failed, because they were doing too much. But in their eyes, they were doing too little. So if you're listening to this and thinking, that sounds like my puppy, or that sounds like my house, that sounds like my stress level, here's what I want you to hear. Your puppy is not broken. You are not doing a terrible job. You just haven't been given clarity yet. And honestly, stories like Luna's are exactly why I built Puppy 101. Not to teach tricks, not to create perfect Instagram dogs, but to give owners structure, understanding, and confidence. So puppies don't reach that breaking point where people start questioning everything. In the end, Luna didn't need fixing. She needed guidance, and her owners needed reassurance. A lot of the times, it's about me reassuring you that things are perfectly fine the way they are. That's usually how it goes. If you enjoyed this episode, if you want more real stories like this, let me know. Because this isn't about training dogs, it's about helping people understand the one they already love. Thanks. Have a good one. Well, if part one with Luna was about realizing I'm not a bad owner and my puppy isn't broken, then this part two is where we talk about what is actually missing. Because relief is important, but relief alone doesn't change your day to day life with a puppy. I want to tell you about another puppy. Just like Luna, this isn't one specific dog. It's a pattern I see all the time with good, caring owners. These owners were doing everything they thought was right. They bought more toys, more chews, more enrichment games. They played more. They interacted more. They tried to stay constantly engaged. And somehow they were more overwhelmed than ever. They'd say things to me like, "We're exhausted. We spend all day with the puppy. Why does it feel like it's getting worse?" And well, to be honest, that's the part that hurts, because on paper, they're doing all the right things, but it just doesn't feel right. So here's the hard truth, and I say this gently, all right? Good intentions are not the same as good structure. This puppy didn't need more stimulation. They needed predictable routines, clear start and stop points, boundaries, rest. Instead, their day had no rhythm, just activity, reaction, chaos. Most people don't realize this, but puppies don't calm down because they're tired. They calm down because they feel safe. And safety comes from knowing what happens next, knowing when things begin and end, knowing someone else is in charge. Without that clarity, a puppy's nervous system never really shuts off. So what does that look like in real life? Well, I say these type of things to my clients all the time. It looks like a puppy that bites more at night, a puppy that can't settle, a puppy that seems wired all the time. Owners who feel like they're failing, not because they are doing nothing, but because they're doing too much of the wrong thing. So this is a moment where things really shifted. All right, here's the thing. Here's the shift that changed everything. We stopped adding more and we started simplifying. Short engagement, and then let's go into rest. Clear transitions, and then quiet. A predictable rhythm to the day. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just structure. And here's the thing. This is the part that people don't expect. The puppy didn't suddenly become obedient. They became regulated. And when a puppy is regulated, guess what? Learning becomes easier. Biting decreases. Frustration drops. Listening improves. Not through force, not even through constant training, but just through clarity. You know, there's a myth out there that if you just love your puppy enough, everything will work itself out. And don't get me wrong, love does matter, all right? But love without structure creates anxiety. And anxious puppies don't thrive, they just spin. And for the record, this isn't about blame. Most owners were never taught this. They were taught train more, play more, tire the puppy out. No one taught them how to lead calmly. But to be frank, that's exactly why I built the online course Puppy 101. Not because people don't care, but because they were never given a clear roadmap. Puppy 101 isn't about fixing dogs. It's about showing owners the structure their puppy has been asking for. So, if part 1 gave you relief and part 2 gave you awareness, I guess, then the next step should be quite simple. Structure can be learned, and when it is, well, everything changes. That's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed part 2 of my little mini podcast, and I'll talk to you soon.